So, welcome back everyone. The LTLC dropped about 2 weeks ago and I am loving the new model. It looks insanely accurate. But enough thal glazing, let's get into the video. This is a complete guide on how to fight as a HATZ. So, if you're one of the people who've been saying HATZ is ass or it's unplayable, I'm gonna be real with you. You could not be more wrong. The reason you're not getting kills is, I'm sorry, but you're probably trash. And look, that's fine, okay? Everyone starts off trash. No one loads into Path of Titans as a pro. I'm trash at some dinos too. Being bad just means you got room to improve. And that's what this guide is for. HATZ is a solid, honestly, very good 3-slot. One of the best, actually. Most people don't get kills because they're using it wrong. And that's why I made this video. For you to use HATZ correctly so you can maximize its potential. So, we all know you cannot fight properly without the right setup. These are 3 land combat builds that are, the primary builds that you'll be using to fight. Air combat is dry and barely skill based, so we're not including air combat in this video. It's just land HATZ better. So, build 1, full corpse build, survival focus. So for your subspecies, pick the 10% health regen. For the head, get peck, senses, corpse healer, front limb, wing beat and stab, hide, feathery hide, legs, crash landing, and voice, death pro. So, here's where the real magic with this build starts. HATZ based healing takes 5 minutes and 10 seconds to fully heal from 1 health to full health while sleeping. But with the 10% heal sub, it takes 4 minutes and 40 seconds to heal from 1 health to full health while sleeping. That's a 30-second difference. It is not that impressive, but wait until you hear this. So, let's do a little bit of math here. HATZ has a health stat of 600, and Ravenous heals 30% of your total health, because it is 1% per second, and Ravenous has 30 seconds of healing. Okay, so 600 times 0.3 is 180. So, 180 health. And you start with 1 health, so after Ravenous you're going to have 181 health, leaving you with 419 health left to heal. Now if we do some math here, it takes 195.53 seconds left to heal. So 30 seconds from Ravenous plus 195.53 is 225.53 seconds. That's like 3 minutes and 45 seconds for the full corpse build, compared to 5 minutes and 10 seconds without corpse build and no 10% heal sub. Guys, that is a minute and 25 second difference. Let that sink in. That is 1.5 minutes, about 1.5 minutes. This build turns HATZ into a survival machine. But if damage is more your thing, then you'll certainly love this next build. For the aggressive people, there is the full damage build. This is the second primary build. So for your subspecies, get 3% attack damage. Head, peck. Senses, flock mob. Yes, it works solo. Front limb, stab, and wing beat. For hide, get your good feathery hide. Legs, go for crash landing. Voice, daze and bellows. This is for the aggressive players who want to maximize burst in the shortest time possible. With this setup, you can get peck damage up to 67.8 DPS, and your stab hits with 90.4 damage. Anything your size will seriously regret trading with you. You're not here to outlast, you're here to literally delete opponents. So, for our damage calculation, we take 3% for the attack sub and flock mob, which is 10%, into account. With Daze Call 2, wing beat base damage is 5, but with flock mob and our damage subspecies and Daze Call, it increases by a total of 113%, making wing beat do a total of 10.65 damage. And if you stab someone right after they've been dazed, you add an additional 90.4 damage. And if you peck last second, it gives you a 67.8 damage. In total, that's 168.85 damage. Yeah, 4 of these combos can fully kill a Pykno, a Dasp, and a Lamb. 5 of these combos can kill a Mira and an Alberta, not counting the additional attacks you'll be dealing. Yeah, the full damage build, the damage is kind of crazy. Just look at this, guys. For the HATZ who want to maximize their armor, there's the third build, which is the armor build. For the subspecies, pick 10% status healing. For head, pick Peck. For senses, get Flock Mob. For front limb, get Stab and Wing Beat. For hide, get Feathery Hide. And for legs, get Crash Landing. And for voice, finally, we have Death Croak. This is the sleeper build. With Flock Mob, fully stacked Feathery Hide, and Death Croak active, your armor reaches 55% for the first hit taken. Let's break that down real quick. A Dasp Bite does 60 damage. 60 times 0.45 is 27 damage. That I'm telling you guys, this is literally Anno level armor for the first hit and beyond. Anno level armor for the first hit, if you maintain the buffs. You will become a brick wall. You are halving the damage any normal HATZ should be taking. So, how to fight. Combat tips. This is where most HATZ players throw. Okay, never face tank. I'm telling you, if you face tank, you will get vaporized. Break check opponents to slip behind them. I'm telling you, break checks save your ass. And you can even jump too to avoid getting hit. I'm telling you, if you jump and break check, you're getting aura points for that shit, bro. Okay, use stab immediately after a break check for surprise damage. If they're catching up, fly off because they're gonna stun lock you and absolutely destroy you. Your opponents, most 3 slots can catch up to HATZ. So if they're on your tail directly, just fly off. It's not worth it. And land a bit away from it to reset positioning. So if you're stun locked or terrain locked, just fucking wing beat them. Get them out of your face. And for the pros, you need to aim stab at the head for the maximum amount of damage. Do not spam. Never spam wing beat. It does shitty damage. If you're running Dazing Bellows, wing beat your opponents so you're stunning them, and then stab them immediately for the damage. HATZ is all about spacing and control. If you stand still and trade, you're gonna get shit on, bro. Okay, so we talked about how to fight. Now it's where to fight, since this is official servers. Location matters. On Rhyperia, most activity is on Cedrus Forest, Mudflats, or Coastland Swamp, which is the most mixed pack, mega pack, 1v1 unfriendly zone ever. It is infested with mega packs. So for the Rhyperia players, I'm sorry, you're not going to get a lot of 1v1s, so stick to Gondwa. There's, you can always go to Grand Plains for fights. Sure, you're going to find a lot of people, you're going to find a lot of corpse for those corpse builds. But the chances of having an actual 1v1 is very low, since it's, well, Grand Plains. And there's mega packs too, same for Salt Flats. Instead, look for, mid-traffic zones like Impact Crater, Savannah Grassland, Green Hills, Green Valley, Dried Lake, Rainbow Hills, Snake Gully, Stego Mountain, Ripple Beach, White Cliffs, and finally Desolate Pass. This is the prime areas to 1v1. You will not find mega packs, but you'll find enough people that you can fight. So, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you heavy. You actually matter to this channel. Enough of me yapping. Here's a beautiful officials HATZ fighting comp to end it all for you guys.